Dallas Cowboys at the Kansas City Chiefs, the premier game of the week. Two teams high in everybody's power rankings. Two teams that both have Super Bowl aspirations. Two teams that might be fighting for it all when it all comes said and done here after we get through with week 18 in the NFL. Right now, Kansas City Chiefs are 2.5-point home favorites over the Dallas Cowboys, 56-56.5 is your total in this one. Guys, we saw the return of, I'm not going to say Patrick Mahomes last week, but what we saw was Patrick Mahomes running the offense the way the offense should be run. Andy Reid calling the plays that needed to be called, them not always going for the home run ball, Patrick Mahomes not putting the ball in danger all the time. He was patient. He settled for what the defense gave him, and with that was able to rack up over 400 yards passing and move the ball up and down the field and score a bunch of points. Dallas Cowboys rebounded last week. We knew they were going to be one of the best offenses in the league. They showed they were one of the best offenses in the league last week. By the way, they get Michael Gallup back last week as well. So he is now a week further removed from being injured as well. So he's going to be fit more into this offense that was already awesome. And so now you add a Michael Gallup in there as well to a defense that has surprised everybody this year. I'm so incredibly excited about this game. Brad, I'm going to start with you because I know you have a bet in on this one. You're not going to take the favorite here.
No. So we spoke a little bit about it with the Raiders game where the entire league, the Packers and the Giants 2 weeks before, cover two deep safeties, light box, and it worked beautifully, right? They were, they probably should have lost both those games if there weren't Jordan Love and a bunch of jokers on the Giants with no receivers. Now the Raiders last week said we don't have the personnel for that, or whatever reason they said we're going to run cover 3, we're going to do what we do, and they shredded it. It was a lot of screens, a lot of checkdowns, and it was interesting. After the game, Mahomes comes out and he said, the improvement in the defense has allowed him to rein it in a bit. A lot of people saying he was pressing. And he said, now I know that the defense has improved with Melvin Ingram, Chris Jones back, Charvarius Ward back, linebackers healthy. He said, I'm happy to take a punt. I'm not pressing it now. So I would say this line suggests that they're fully fixed. The Chiefs offense is back because I think the Cowboys are one of the very best teams in the league. And obviously you can probably give 1 or 1.5 points for home field. So this line to me says the Chiefs are pretty, a point better. And there's nothing in this year's stats that say that's true. So you've got to say the Chiefs are fully back. And I wonder, Mahomes said it was against his nature to check it down like that. So what happens if the Cowboys go up 20-10? Like, does Mahomes start pressing again? I think that is definitely in the range of outcomes. I would also say that this Dan Quinn defense is another cover 3 defense. So how does he play? Does he twist his personnel into cover 2, or does he do the Raiders thing? We run what we run. So yes, it's tricky, but to me, it's just, I think it's more likely there's some regression. There's a chance of regression, and if they are back to where they are, then the line is correct. So it's a bit of a free bet almost.
Steven, a couple of things for me. I want to play. I really do. I want to play the Cowboys here, but a couple of things keep me off. There's no guarantee Tyron Smith is going to be back out there for them this week. I mean, listen, Jerry Jones, every time he goes on these everybody quotes Jerry Jones. Every time he goes to these radio programs, whoever they ask him about always has a shot of playing this week. Like he always like every time it's always like, oh no, I think he's got a real shot of playing this week. It's like, that's what he says. He says every single time. So Jerry Jones saying that Tyron Smith has a good chance of playing this week means absolutely nothing to me at all. And you wouldn't get it from the stat line, because if you weren't watching that game, and you probably turned it off fairly early because it was a blowout. What you didn't notice from the stat line was you saw this massive game from CeeDee Lamb. What you didn't see was he spent most of the second half on the sideline because there was some sort of little injury thing going on with him. He didn't play most of the second half. And they asked him about it, and he said it is a Charlie horse that kept really nagging. And I don't exactly know what that means. And that doesn't make me feel great, though, for hearing him say something like that as well. So certainly a monitor that type situation with CeeDee Lamb throughout the rest of the week as well. But all things considered, I think if you honestly sat me down and said, which one of these teams is the better team today, I would say the Dallas Cowboys, yet for whatever reason, I've not run to the book. I've not run to the book and put in the bet on them. Why have I not put in the bet on the Dallas Cowboys? What's keeping me from doing that, Steven? What's going on with me?
We talked about it last week, our belief and our understanding of what the Chiefs can be, right? They've been to back-to-back Super Bowls, so we understand what their ceiling is. And last week was really the first time since week one that we saw that ceiling offensively. But Matt, you and I this week both ranked Dallas as the number one team in our poll for the Lions power rankings. And we do that exercise in a way where we are putting the team that we think this week should be the favorite over every other single team in the league on a neutral field just for this week. So you and I are of the belief that Dallas right now is the best team in the NFL all around, not just offensively, but defensively as well. I will say for this game, I am concerned about the Cowboys pass rush. Randy Gregory joined DeMarcus Lawrence on IR. Now they have 4 guys on the defensive line that are graded 60th, 78th, 84th, and 105th among edge and interior players by PFF. That's not good. And it's a tall task against the Chiefs offense. Now, ask the Raiders what happens if you can't get pressure with just 4. They got torched. And if they blitz the Cowboys, Mahomes is 3rd best in the league this year against the blitz with 137.2 passer rating. So if you haven't bet it yet, I would need +3 on Dallas. And I think we might get it if you want to play that side. I think we might get the 3. The Chiefs are just very well known for this line moving as it gets closer to kickoff over the past year and a half. So the total of 56 tells us that the Cowboys probably are going to have to be a lead on offense again, which they're certainly capable of. You know, they rank higher than the Chiefs on offense in almost every single key metric. And since getting blown out by Buffalo, the Chiefs defense is 17th and 13th in EPA and success rate, but 29th and 28th overall in the season. So you have to ask yourself, did they turn a corner or are they just playing a softer schedule? And Dallas's defense in that span, I should add, 3rd and 2nd. So this is a really good defense, hopefully, that we see for Kansas City. I understand why the line is what it is. I think we all acknowledge that. We know the Chiefs have a Super Bowl ceiling, but I want to see it one more time against an offense that I think is every bit as good as the one that Buffalo put out there that torched Kansas City earlier this year.
I don't play a ton of totals. I put in about a half unit bet on the over in this one at 55. It has moved in my direction, so at least there's that for me here, all the way up to 56.5 at DraftKings right now, 55.5 at MGM, 56 at PointsBet. So, it has moved in my direction a little bit here. I believe in both of these offenses. I think moving forward, I do believe that the Chiefs understand now that if they're just going to have to take what the defenses give them, and that's just the team they're going to have to be if they're going to have any success moving forward. And I think that Patrick Mahomes is sharp enough to realize that as well. You hear some of the quotes that they're talking about and what they're saying. I think that there's a chance that they did that. And of course, I'm a huge believer in the Dallas offense. I think that they are super elite. I think they're going to score on anyone. I think they're going to score on everybody. So it doesn't matter if this Chiefs defense has started to play better or not. So I did put in a smaller play on the over 55 in this one. We also have a Dallas team that plays super fast as it is anyway. You got Kansas City offense that plays super fast as far as neutral pace. Like they're the 2nd fastest and 9th fastest team when it comes to that as well. So there's just a lot of things I think that lend to this kind of heading towards an over as well. Explosive plays. We know these ridiculous wide receivers that they've got in Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and all that stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to be I'm on the over there, and that's if I get a full 3, Mike can see me on the Cowboys. So
this game's going to be fun as hell. Though. I can't wait for it.
Favorite game of the season, no doubt about it.